iStock of all the unexpected juxtapositions in the universe, comparing Jewish food to Japanese food might be one of the unlikeliest. Yet a new trend is emerging, and we at The Forward are paying careful attention to it. Consider Shalom Japan, the happy result of a happy intermarriage between the Jewish heir in Israel and the Japanese Sawako Okochi, which serves dishes like Matzoh Ball Ramen and is still raking in accolades after being open since 2013. There's the Wise Son's Jewish deli outpost that recently opened in Tokyo, owned by Evan Bloom, that has had lines out the door in Japan's capital. There's Ivan Ramen, owned by Ivan Orkin, a Jew from Long Island, famous for his interpretations of ramen, filtered through his Jewish-American sensibilities. It's why websites like the Jewish Food Experience are publishing guides to cooking kosher Asian food. Molly Ye's tip: swap out the pork for chicken. The Habad of Tokyo, Japan, even has a list on its site, in both Japanese and English, of which fishes are kosher and which are not, for the discerning traveler looking to dip into some authentic Japanese cuisine. The Orthodox Union and the British KLBD certification have even opened departments in Japan to help feed a growing need to monitor a burgeoning phenomenon. In fact, historically, Jews even played a bit of a role in bringing sushi to America. Los Angeles was the first American city to realize a love for the precisely made street food. Restaurant Kawafuku was the first to make traditional sushi available to Californians, and it was opened by a man named Noritoshi Kanai and his Jewish business partner, Harry Wolf. Today, 80 to 90% of kosher restaurants serve sushi, according to Rabbi Elephant, the chief operating officer of the Orthodox Union. So Jewish people definitely like eating Japanese food, and Japanese-Jewish fusion is definitely having a moment, but what do Jewish palates and Japanese cuisine have in common? In the midst of this burgeoning phenomenon, I reached out to Nancy Hachizu Singleton, an authority on Japanese food culture, as author of Japan, the cookbook, billed as the definitive Japanese home cooking recipe collection, to find out what Jewish and Japanese food had in common. Japanese philosophy of motainai struck me as particularly similar to the Jewish philosophy of bal tashchit, the biblical prohibition of not wasting. Motainai is deeply ingrained in the traditional and historical culture of Japan, Hachizu wrote me. This frugality comes from a time when there was much less available and people had to eat what they grew, so no waste was a necessity as well as a way of life. There is a similar value placed on mindfulness while cooking in Japanese culture. Hachizu spoke to me about the method of treating or seasoning each component in a dish separately before folding together, telling me that this mindfulness is exactly how I like to cook. As any kosher challah baker who has to stop their kneading of the dough to make the blessing can tell you, kosher cooking often demands mindfulness as well, with all the required blessings and attention to detail when it comes to the intricate laws of kashrut. Like with Jewish food, there is an oral tradition of sharing recipes in Japan and passing them down from family to family for home cooking. Love and care are integral to home cooking, Hachizu wrote me. You don't need a trend spotter to know that that's universal. Shira Feder is a writer for The Forward. You can reach her at feder@forward.com. The Forward welcomes reader comments, in order to promote thoughtful discussion on issues of importance to the Jewish community. All readers can browse the comments, and all Forward subscribers can add to the conversation. In the interest of maintaining a civil forum, The Forward requires that all commenters be appropriately respectful toward our writers, other commenters and the subjects of the articles. Vigorous debate and reasoned critique are welcome. Name-calling and personal invective are not and will be deleted. Egregious commenters or repeat offenders will be banned from commenting. While we generally do not seek to edit or actively moderate comments, our spam filter prevents most links and certain keywords from being posted, and The Forward reserves the right to remove comments for any reason.